the 16th of December was the Battle of the Bulge started. And boy, did they hit us hard with that. It was a lot of SS troops. They brought a lot of troops back from Russia. They're better divisions, and it was really tough. Again, we lost a lot of our equipment, practically all of it, and I lost the rest of my crew, and a couple more from other crews I finally joined. But then, after a while, they finally crossed the Rhine farther north, and we were heading for Berlin, and all at once, I guess the strategy was that let the Russians take Berlin and we would head south, because they thought that's where Hitler would be finally holed up. And so we started down southeast towards southern Germany, and we finally, a momentous occasion for us was we crossed several of the great rivers, the Rhine and the Isar and so forth, but we ran on to Moosburg, Germany, and there were 111,000 of our American prisoners kept being pushed further down in that area. And talk about excited people. It was so wonderful to see them. Pardon me, but they were so glad to get out of there. It was momentous. Anyways, soon after, they thought Hitler would wind up down in our area, which turned out not to be true, and he committed suicide up in Berlin, but they thought he might be down in our area, and so we waited for that to happen, but it didn't, and the war ended. Why, what a glorious day that was. Then our division was dismantled, and I was joined to the 80th Infantry, and we spent some time on the Austrian-Swiss borders, and finally I was sent to Czechoslovakia for 2 or 3 months, and that was quite an experience because the Russians were over there looking at us, and we were looking at them. And eventually I came back to Frankfurt, Germany, and I worked with a bunch of German prisoners to erect a tent buildings there, and I got down with them and worked, and they'd all been here in the United States and learned English, and so we kind of learned to find out that we were all human beings, and they wanted to get home for Christmas, and so did I, but neither one of us made it. But anyway, eventually I got back to New York on the 3rd of January of 1946.
Greatest Generation.
The Greatest Generation.
The Greatest Generation.
Defending us.
These guys put everything on the line, and it means a lot.
The things that we have in our lives are due to their efforts, their sacrifice.
It's just very, very humbling to be able to share their lives or have them share their lives with us.
Remarkable.
As we think of the people who have spent time in honor of their country and protection of us, who have worked for our freedom, who continue to work for the freedom of a great country. We thank you for all of the times, the difficult times that they have had to go through. We thank you for their generosity of giving of themselves.
God bless America, my home, sweet home.
The Greatest Generation.
What a life I led.